Ben Tonati, welcome back to our show. Well, this is a wonderful opportunity to meet new people, and that's one of the reasons why I love doing this show. And I'm very pleased to have these next two guests on, a profile in a way of, I would say up and coming, but they're already here. They've done such great work in our community, and it's fabulous that we now get to meet them. So let me introduce them without further ado. Please welcome two Italo-Canadians, both practicing lawyers. I have with me, sitting beside me, Mario Bellissimo, who is an immigration lawyer. And you're joined by a good friend, Louie Genova, who's also a criminal lawyer.
Thanks.
So thank you very much to both of you for being here today.
Grazie dall'invito.
We're here for a number of reasons. One is to talk about that they've joined forces. They've co-authored this. It's not really. It's like a source book, a resource book for those, I guess, studying or those wanting who are already in the field, called Immigration, Criminality and Inadmissibility.
That's right.
So this is it right here. I'm going to show you. This is where we go to if we need some info done by the experts, these two gentlemen right here. So let's talk about this quickly, or with you, Mario, first.
Sure.
What is it about?
Okay, well, it's definitely not a light read, as you can see.
No, it's not.
It's about 500 pages. What it's about is the intersection between criminality and immigration, which post 9/11 has obviously taken on increased significance. And people sometimes think it's not at the level of terrorism. It's not. It deals with any charge, drinking while impaired. You may not get into the United States. Citizens who want to sponsor their spouses, if they have criminality in their past, may not be able to sponsor. So it has a lot of practical significance to people's lives.
Because, you know, I've seen how the world has changed. We've seen it, but we may forget there's other aspects of that are going to be affected. It's like a chain reaction. So what happens, you know, visually, let's say what happened in 9/11, during 9/11, is going to have an effect on everything across the board. We forget about that. So I bring that up only because you were mentioning change and how many people have been here, have immigrated to Canada, and have not been here 20, 30 years maybe, and have never gotten their Canadian citizenship. That plays a role now. You think there's much of a change now with that, yes?
Yeah, I think we both agree. You're probably best suited to address that, Mario, from immigration perspective. But just, if I may, Andrea, I want to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Honourable Frank Iacobucci, retired Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada, who saw fit to write the foreword to this book. And as Frank wrote, as he stated, this isn't a theoretical work, but a practical book for judges, lawyers, and students of criminal law and immigration. And as Mario alluded to, at no time has the intersection between criminal law and immigration been so important. Absolutely, since 9/11. I think most people are aware of that now. But just segue to what you were saying, what most people may not be aware of is they may think, well, I'm a Canadian citizen, I don't need to worry. I think most people know that for travel to the States, even for a Canadian citizen with a record, they could be precluded from traveling. But beyond that, for a Canadian citizen, for example, who may want to sponsor a relative, if they have a conviction for certain offenses, for example, domestic assault or threatening a spouse or spouse's relative, that may preclude them from sponsoring somebody.
So that's where you come into play in all of this.
Well,
right?
I think it's anybody. Just to highlight the fact that anybody charged with a criminal offense, it's very important for them to be aware of any potential immigration consequences. So they should consult experienced criminal and immigration lawyers.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, one of the shocking things that happens in a lot of people's lives is that they feel that since they've been here, they were 3 years old or 4 years old, that they're entitled to remain permanently. That actually used to be the case. It used to be that if you were domiciled in Canada for 5 years, they could not deport you. That's no longer the case. So we have individuals that have been here for 30, 40 years that are facing deportation. So it's a new world.
A new world, okay. Now, in terms of experience, the both of you, you've been doing this for a very long time.
About a quarter century practicing criminal law, defend everything from shoplifting to murder, and Mario's a certified specialist in immigration. He's been at the Supreme Court of Canada, and I would say he's one of the top immigration lawyers in the country.
Thank you.
Besides co-authoring this book with me, Mario is the author of other immigration books as well.
It's great to have him on.
He's made a very valuable contribution to the legal literature, and we're gratified actually because Frank Iacobucci wrote the foreword, and both Mario and I are sons of Italian immigrants, as is Frank Iacobucci. So it puts a unique spin on this book, and we're grateful to have made this contribution to the legal community and to the Italian community.
Absolutely.
It's not, just quickly, we were thinking when we first began writing the book that this would, it is a source of pride, and it's not that many years ago that just back here, A lot of Italians had trouble with police officers when they used to do the passaggio, and they were thought they were...
Two or three together, they were congregating and they had to split up.
That's right. So we're not that far removed from that reality, so it's amazing that we're at this point, and I think it's a source of pride, and a lot of individuals have helped with this publication as well, so it's been great.
Okay. Now, where do people get this information if they want to? You were saying it's in some pretty...
Well,
it's not
something you find in chapters.
No, absolutely, but you're saying it's, Supreme Court...
We understand that the Supreme Court of Canada has a copy, a very prestigious Harvard Law School, but it's available online through Carswell, and Carswell is the publisher. They're one of the largest, if not the largest, legal publishers. And again, we're grateful and gratified that they saw the need for a comprehensive book of this nature and commissioned Mario and I to write this book.
And are you you're both local? You're both within the area?
Yes.
That's both in Toronto.
Both in Toronto,
yeah.
okay.
I happen to be right on the border of Vaughan and Toronto.
Oh, yeah. Well, you serve
the city above Toronto.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we serve
International. Very,
and speaking
very
of international, this is a national publication.
Okay.
It's not just because immigration deals with federal issues. It's not Highway Traffic Act dealing with just Ontario, so it has application to people across the country and indeed internationally.
If there's one thing I can leave is anybody watching it does not have their citizenship, get that citizenship. It is critical.
And Mayor's office can assist with that.
Is the process different now than it was before, or?
It just takes longer. So you have to begin, and the Canadian passport is a wonderful thing to have.
Absolutely.
And people are shocked when it's too late. So now's the time. Get out there and do it.
Okay. Well, I thank you both for being on our show today.
Pleasure.
Sharing a little bit about your story and also coming together and creating this. And congratulations, you both must be very proud, as well as I'm sure your families and those in the community along with you. So.
Grazie. Volevo solo informare gli ascoltatori che si parla italiano sia nell'ufficio di Mario sia nel mio ufficio.
Sì, parliamo italiano.
Sì, grazie. Allora, la musica, actually, before we do that, coming up next on our show, we've got calcio highlights for you, all you soccer lovers. That'll be up just shortly. Right now, Claudio Villa, Povere Cuore, and we'll be right back.